Hello everyone, this is Chris B and welcome to Simply Delicious. In this episode, I'm going to make for you something that I have in my mind. It is a variation of peach cobbler, okay? So what we're going to do in this Simply Delicious video is we're going to use some peanut butter cookie dough. We're going to use some sliced peaches that are frozen. We're going to need some salt. We're going to need some black pepper. We're gonna need some pumpkin spice, and we're gonna need a little bit of soft butter. And we're gonna also put in some granulated sugar, okay? Granulated sugar, all right? So what I have going on my stove right now is my oven is preheating to 375 degrees. I'm gonna turn on my stove here and heat up this cast iron skillet, okay? And let's go in just a little bit so you guys can see that. So I got the heat on my cast iron skillet. All right, so what I'm going to do is while that's heating up, I'm gonna add some sugar to my glass cup here, and I'm gonna put about 1/4 cup. That's all we're gonna do here. So just, yeah, 1/3 cup. Okay, so I got about 1/3 cup here. And then I'm going to add in some nice soft brown sugar, okay? And I'm going to put about, I would say less than 1/4 cup of brown sugar here. We don't want it too sweet. All right. So I'm going to put enough brown sugar in with this granulated sugar because I want a little bit of molasses flavor in here. I'm just going to put enough in here to make it equal out to about 3/4 cup. So there we are. We have that. Okay. And in here I'm going to add some salt and pepper. If I can stop dropping things. Give me a couple of rungs of salt here. All right, and then I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And then I'm going to add about a couple of dashes or one good dash of pumpkin spice. And I'm also going to add in some nutmeg, okay? So we're going to add some nutmeg here, a couple of, not even a half a teaspoon, okay? And what I'm going to do with this mixture here is I'm going to take a good fork and mix this together, okay? Just like so. So my skillet is getting hot. And we just got this stirred up together, like so. And so you can see how I got it nice and mixed. Okay, fine. So now I'm going to take my peaches, and with these peaches for this particular recipe, I'm going to take roughly about, let's see, okay, this is just over a cup. Put it in a hot skillet. I can turn it down. I'm just going to put enough peaches in this skillet to cover the bottom. All right. Notice my skillet is hot, so it's heating up, I should say. Just gonna break these peaches up. Okay. And I have these half slices of peaches. I would say in this, I'm just putting enough in here, like I said, just to cover the bottom. Okay, some of the water's gonna come off of those peaches. And then I'm just gonna add this sugar in with these peaches. And we're gonna get this cooking, okay? All right, can you all see that? Let me bring the camera in some. All righty. So, got the peaches going. All right. so. Just cooking those peaches down. And what I'm going to do now is add a couple of pats of butter in here because we want it to have really good flavor. Okay, so that's about 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, my oven is pretty much where I need it to be. And while that's happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my platform here and just use it. Let me turn this around so y'all can see it. Okay, just got my little glass dishware here. And I'm going to take this cookie dough and start cutting out a few discs. Okay. And what I'm going to do with that, this is peanut butter cookie dough. You can use sugar cookies or whatever you want. And I'm just going to press this out with my hand like so. Okay. And then while that's cooking together, to make sure that that sugar mixture is all over these peaches. Make sure it's covered real good. Okay, let that kind of cook down and caramelize together. And then what I'm going to do is add this cookie dough in here in pieces. Basically, I'm just kind of flattening these out. And I'm using this, obviously, this peanut butter cookie as a crust. Okay. You just want to kind of just roll it together. And you can wet your hands with this part of the process in order to, let me turn it around so you can see it. I'm up here talking and you guys not seeing what I'm doing. There we go. All right, so I'm just gonna put this cookie dough in here in small spaces, and I'm gonna use that as a crust, okay? So we're gonna make it nice and easy. And you can wet your hands and be able to really patty out these, but my hands are okay for right now. Okay, cut this one. All right. So again, this is peanut butter cookie dough that I'm using. If you don't want to use that, you could use a sugar cookie dough. Do whatever you want. Okay, you can get some croissants in a container. You can use that as your crust, but I'm going to do something different today because that's what I do on Simply Delicious. I make stuff that I like that is simply delicious to me, and I really like to experiment with different flavors to see what works and what doesn't. Most of the time in my mind I'll envision something, and most of the time I'll get it right. Not boasting, but I know what I personally like, so it's about what you personally like, okay? So I want you guys to try this recipe. All right, so now those peaches are basically done. I mean, the sugar is melted down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it in the oven, and I'm going to let it cook in the oven at, actually, I'm going to turn this up a little bit higher. I want it to cook faster, so I'm going to turn it up to 425. Why not? Because I want this to cook, to flash cook. I want it to cook pretty quick. Okay. So let's do that. Four, 2, 5. Start. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in to the oven. Turn that eye off. It's already at 375, but I want to turn it up a little bit higher. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the oven here. Okay, there we go. As you can see, let you look at it. You can see it's bubbling real good. We'll pop it in the hot oven and let it go for about 15 minutes, and I'll check on it, okay? All right. So we made a really quick peach cobbler dessert with peaches and a mixture of sugars with some spices, which was nutmeg and a little bit of pumpkin spice, which is a combination of cinnamon and ginger and some other things. And I put a little bit of salt and black pepper in it to make it nice and savory. And then of course I used peanut butter cookie dough that I purchased in the store. We're going to use that as the topping, as the crust. Okay, so it's in a hot oven. I heated it up to 375 degrees, but actually I thought I wanted to cook it a little bit faster. So like, again, this is an experimental way of me doing it. Of course, I've made peach cobbler before, but I've never done it quite this way. But it was just an idea I had in my head. So I think you all are going to really enjoy it. I think you're going to really like it. So this is what we're going to do today. All right. So we're cooking here in this kitchen, Simply Delicious, the Simply Delicious way. All right.